Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon and this is Monster Rancher Advance 2. I miscounted with the last episode and there are 4 more to go before the Monster Rancher 2 DX release. So you've got 4 more episodes of Monster Rancher, including this one. So in the last episode, Floofin won the Crystal Cup, I believe, yes, and now we're going to take her into the official cup where I think she'll be fine. And I've also discovered that we can easily double train her with heavy training. If that affects her lifespan, I don't really care. That's one thing that I know that I'm sort of girding myself for. I immediately apologize for that phrasing, but with the next Monster Rancher coming out, part of the problem, or the good, depending on your view of it, is that we're going to have a bunch of Monster Rancher experts come out of the woodwork, and if you check those forums, you will be told precisely how you're playing Monster Rancher wrong, which always rankles my feathers. But who gives a crap? Just play the game how you want to play, and I don't like super min-maxing. So as a result, if I screw up or if I'm doing something at slightly less than optimal whatevers, then that is fine. By the way, I wanted to address real quick 2 viewers who have been giving me good information. Oh, geez, I forget one of their names. Hold on. Let me look that up because I, A, don't want to get the name wrong, and B, want to give credit where credit is due, so don't worry about the dead silence right now, because I've opened up whatever browser thing. Okay, so Zen Jester and Maple Knight have both been incredible about asking me if I want information on the game, so it's non-spoiler and no backseat gaming and all that. And I wanted to quickly address what, in my opinion, is the difference. And there I pause so I can put in a bookmark. Anyway, a timestamp, a chapter, flippin' whatever. Anyway, so here's my opinion of what the difference is between backseat gaming and the spoilers and the such. I don't think giving information is backseat gaming. Giving information is just giving information. Now, giving plot, that's a separate complaint. That's spoiling. Spoiling is a different beast. But I'm saying, like, for Monster Rancher, for Maple Knight and Zen Jester? Wait, I've already forgotten the name again. Zen Jester. Okay. For those 2, they've just been providing me information. They give me information, numerical thresholds. You know, here's when this and this happens to your monster. They've been giving information regarding lifespans, and that's fine. That's great. I think that's okay. Where you cross the line, and that's the general you, that's not directed at anybody, but where you cross the line, and what has always rankled my feathers, is when someone tells you how to play a game. When they say, you're not doing this right, you need to do this, and do this, and do this, and do this, and then it becomes a checklist, and it becomes a job. And that's not fun, in my opinion. Some people derive pleasure from it, and that's fine. It's sort of a weird or a very thin line when you're giving strategy, because if someone's genuinely like, how do I beat this boss in a platformer? And the response is, you need to dodge this way, and you have to look out for this attack, and you have to jump over this attack. Since they're asking for strategy, that's not really backseat gaming, because that's still like giving the information. What bothers me, especially as a Monster Rancher Let's Player, is when I hear garbage like, you can never win if you put power into pixies. You can never win. You're not being efficient if you keep doing always hit, never be hit. Like, the idea that there is more than one way to play a strategy game just seems to blow the minds of a certain subset of fandoms. Usually the ones who feel like they have a lot of stake in the games. And I believe I am a minority Let's Player, especially for Monster Rancher, when I take the view that these are just video games, so who gives a shit? They're not important. No video game is important to the consumer. They might be that important to the people making them. It's their jobs and their livelihoods. But even me, whose livelihood does depend on video games, they're just not that important. I could go read a book or do a job at Walmart or something instead. Like, I don't need the job. And even if the video games disappear tomorrow, then, you know, my fiance is still alive, and so is my cat, and so is my mom and my dad, and, you know, that's what's important, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I can put it more clearly than that. And I guess for my mentality, it's very strange when someone has the opposite view, that people were to take video games so personally, when, in my view, what you should be taking personally is your money, or where to get your next meal, or whether you can afford medicine, that kind of thing. But, you know, who knows, man? That's just my perspective, right? So anyway, my point is, because I just went way off track of what I was talking about, I find the line of backseat gaming where I get dictated to. Advice is not dictation. And that's why, if you wish to tell me, and that one is more directed at Maple Knight and Zen Jester, if you wish to tell me about lifespans and the thresholds for learning moves, and that goes beyond just Monster Rancher Advance 2, have at it. Go ahead and give me that information, because where it becomes backseat gaming is when someone tells me how to use the information. Because that's the great thing about the way those two especially have been presenting the information to me. Maple Knight, especially, you get a gold star or a cookie or whatever, because Maple Knight has been leaving in the comments like, here's where the moves are, here's the thresholds, and that's it. Maple Knight doesn't tell me which ones I should prioritize or which ones I should ignore or whatever. Here's the information. Do with it what you please. That's how I like receiving advice, because then everybody wins. You get to show your expertise and share and open up the game to a new audience, in this case me, and I get to have fun doing the game however I want, while trying to concentrate on also being my version of entertaining. And I think that's another part of it. Like, doing the show adds a wrinkle to any video game playing, because not only am I playing the game and trying to play it reasonably well, but I'm also watching my audio readout, I'm watching my video readout, I'm watching my production timer so I don't go over 20 minutes too badly. I'm having to think ahead with what I say to try to avoid unnecessary filler words and to keep the commentary going so you're not just watching a no commentary Let's Play. So all of these things factor in, and so my brain just can't handle adding min-maxing on top of it. I think this is a conversation worth having, and so I'm probably going to wind up repeating all of this during the Monster Rancher 2 DX run, because the same questions will be addressed, the same less than optimal fans will come out of the woodwork, and I think it's important to share with everybody my view of doing Let's Plays. And certainly some Let's Players disagree with me, and that's fine too. Everything is fine, guys. None of this matters. None of this is important. Everything is fine. You're breathing and you're healthy and you're trying your best despite possibly bad things happening in your life. And so here I am trying to give you just a little piece of entertainment for 20 minutes. Well, now 11 left, but you know what I mean. And with that, Floofin has won the C-Class quite handily. At the end of the last episode, I wasn't sure if she'd be able to handle it, but I thought she would be fine. She was better than fine. That wasn't even close to a challenge, and now she is in the B-Class. Which, of course, qualifies her to be a coach, although I don't even know if she needs to be a coach. I might just use her for breeding stock. Good numbers all around. Hot damn. It did great. Do you want to praise it? Obviously. Who's a good floofin? You're a good floofin. Yes, you is. Oh, jeez. I never did check her figure. Well, whatever. So, did Floofin turn 2 or 3 there? Because she had a birthday. If she only turned... Okay, she turned 3. I was going to say, if she only turned 2, then... Holy crap, she's got plenty of time left. Alright, take a rest, and let's reevaluate both her figure and her numbers. And we can decide... Let's head for Agima with the suggested monster. Okay, does that mean I'm not allowed... Does that imply that, for example, I can get a Joker, but I can't put the Joker into a tournament until I do this breeder education thing with the Joker? Is that what that means? I mean, it doesn't matter because we don't have any of those special monsters right now anyway, but it's something I'm going to have to consider in the future. So... Our girl here has normal figure, so fish is fine. I think she likes fish? She doesn't care about fish. Okay, great. But we are also saving up for the fatigue held item, I believe. So we have the shiny gem. Yeah, I want that one. I need the silver cup. And I want 25 grand, because that'll allow me to buy the cup and have 10,000 left over. Because I could afford it now, but I don't want to be that poor, just in case I need the money for something, for an emergency reason. So, we need to have Floofin do a tournament. Was Spartacus one of the ones that was for the death blow? Given that I'll get 3,600 just for second place, I think it's worth giving a try. So let's have Floofin do power accuracy, because power will probably level up. Provided Floofin actually does the training properly. Hey! Good job, Floofin! Ivan's just going to, we're not going to see Ivan again for a few years, but that's okay. Ugh, tasty, tasty coffee. Only thing keeping me going today. Alright, so take a rest and then we'll enter the tournament. The Akamura has a sleep wedge, or pillow wedge, I believe it's called. It's a pillow, a long pillow that is shaped like, well, a wedge, and it's designed to go between your legs when you sleep. However, for me, because I have some really bad allergies right now, because it is getting to be the end of autumn, I can't breathe most of the night, and that is causing me a lack of sleep. So she suggested I sleep with my head on the wedge, and since then, it doesn't put me to sleep any faster, but man, once I go out, I sleep for a good long while, and it feels fantastic. Ah! Dick. Oh my god! He countered me once, failed the second counter, took a ton of damage. Wow, stab is a great move. So, also, side note, because it looks like a wedge of cheese, the Akamura calls it the sleep cheese, which is the greatest name in the world for it. So, unfortunately, the downside to sleeping that deeply, especially because I'm catching up on a bunch of sleep debt, is that it takes me a lot longer to get started in the mornings now. And I'm on my second cup of coffee and still don't feel 100% awake yet. But I will be fine. I actually feel pretty good, which is also probably because I slept well for the first time in a week. Or two. Ah, get him. And even with such high accuracy, stab is still a 50-50. Oof. It's alright, go ahead, keep doing that. It's not doing much damage to me. Being addled sucks, but good dodge. You may want to get away from me, Kevin. Okay, fine. Come closer. I'll just punch you in the eye. Ha 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 ha. That doesn't do unreasonable damage. And another failed counter. Plus a last second follow-up, and that's that. Stay down, Kevin. Good job, Floofin. So Floofin can hang in the B class. I don't trust him to dominate. I trust her to dominate. Because she's not dominating, but she's winning fairly handily. Yeah, looking at just the number comparison, I would like to get accuracy up to 500. I'd like to get speed over 200 because it's close. But that's not bad. Floofin's doing very well. It really does seem like the monsters get, or are, a little stronger in this game than they are for some of the previous Monster Ranchers. I am okay with that. Because to me it makes sense that a handheld game is going to feature an easier experience than a console game, because you don't have, generally speaking, that long to play a handheld game before your eyes start getting strained or you're just not in a position to play anymore. Monster Rancher 2 Advance is really good. Like, really good. I'm so sad I missed this one the first time around. And I've heard the news that Koei Tecmo is looking into expanding the Monster Rancher franchise further once the DX version comes around. I don't remember what my opinions were when I first started doing YouTube, but I have come to accept that I believe we will have a Monster Rancher 6 in our lifetimes. My concern, ever since it has been discussed, is whether Koei Tecmo tries to microtransaction it to death. Because Koei Tecmo is the company behind Dynasty Warriors and Dead or Alive. And one glance at the Steam store page on those will tell you what they feel like about DLC. I don't think microtransactions are inherently bad. I think they can be used badly, and I do believe Koei Tecmo is one of the companies that uses them badly. So I can easily foresee a situation where they essentially make Monster Rancher 6 and the base breeds are there, but then you start having to pay like $1 for Jokers, and then another $1 for Hengars, and then another $1 for Monols, and then you have to start paying $1 for some of the cross species, and then $2 for crossovers, the special ones like a Kasumi Pixie, that kind of thing. And I think that would do harm, like a lot of more harm than it needs to, especially if they charge $60 for the base game. But this is all supposition that may or may not come true. I'm just saying that that has always been my concern with a potential Monster Rancher 6. I think we will have one. I don't know when. I'm not Koei Tecmo. I just think we will have one. Just, I'm concerned about the form it will take. But hey, man, maybe they learned their lesson from Dynasty Warriors 9, and they won't be such douchebags about it. We can hope. Or maybe the passion of the Monster Rancher community will be enough to persuade Koei Tecmo not to be jerks about their pricing structure and strategy. Who knows, man? Anything can happen. Don't go down, Floofin. Okay, good. Yeah, Floofin still needs a little bit of accuracy help. Only because hit percentages are so low in this game. I still haven't decided whether I like that or not. Because while I prefer being able to hit more often, it really feels fair. I mean, the AI isn't hitting me very much, so... Is it good? Is it bad? I don't flippin' know. But what I do know is I'm out of time for this episode. Floofin, you did amazing. We're gonna max out your speed, or level up your speed, level up your accuracy, and then go from there in the next one. 3 more episodes to go. Then we'll have to get ready for Monster Rancher 2 DX, where I'm sure everything will be fine. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for another episode.